Hello and good evening. I'm Mr. Chaos, and tonight I'm going to be reacting to the 20th episode of MLP Season 6, Viva Las Pegasus. Alright, ever since I saw the title for this episode on the Wikipedia list for the episodes of MLP, when I was on Wikipedia and I saw the title for this episode on the list of episodes for season 6 on the MLP Wikipedia episode list site, I was excited for this because I've been waiting for an episode where, you know, I've been waiting for an episode that takes place in Las Pegasus. Back when I saw like the map of Equestria, I saw a city called Las Pegasus on there, next to the Applewood sign, which Applewood is obviously based on Hollywood, so I'm not really sure if Las Pegasus is either based on LA or Las Vegas. I don't know. According to the map, they both seem pretty close to Applewood, so I don't know. Let's just find out. I really want to see how this episode turns out as well. I hope they didn't get this. I hope they didn't put too many flaws in the story. But without further ado, let's go to Las Pegasus. Alright. Starting the episode, 3, 2, 1, play.
The map is sending us where?
Las Pegasus?
But Las Pegasus is a wild vacation spot.
Wait.
It's just one big party.
All those lights and sounds, not to mention the crowds. Oh, just the thought of it is overwhelming.
I know Las Pegasus doesn't seem like either of your cups of tea, but I have total faith you wouldn't have been called unless you were the perfect ponies for the job.
Probably not as bad as we think. It can't just be a loud, obnoxious party all the time, right?
Applejack? It isn't as bad as we thought.
No, it is a party, isn't it?
You're right. It's worse.
Oh, it's based on Las Vegas?
Do you think the map could be on the fritz again? I mean, this place seems a lot more suited to Pinkie Pie, or even Rainbow Dash.
Yeah, Pinkie Pie would have loved
The
this.
map, then so do I. All we have to do is solve our friendship problem and get back home.
Oh, it's just gonna be Applejack and Fluttershy. I thought it was gonna be like the main 6 going there, since it's a brand new place.
Pony fantastic! Trust me when I say you've never seen anything like it.
That guy looks like either of like Flim and Flam.
Your only regret will be that you didn't see it sooner. And like everything at this amazing, incredible, I can't believe it even exists hotel, Pony Fantastique is brought to you by the chair pony of kindness, Landmain himself.
Wow, this Gladman sure seems impressive.
Well, it is a little embarrassing. But the crowd seemed to like it.
Mr. Gladmain?
Just glad Maine will do. And it's a pleasure to meet actual cohorts of the...
Okay, this is an interesting new character.
Thank you for coming.
I like his outfit.
You know who we are?
I'm what you might call a friendship connoisseur. So naturally, I'm familiar with the friends of the great Twilight Sparkle. Applejack. Fluttershy.
Yeah, everybody in Equestria would know who the. Oh, hey, they're those two again. There's the two guys from Spice Up Your Life. Those were the other guys that came to the restaurant. Interesting to see them here. Well, yeah, they are kind of traveling kind of ponies, so of course. But yeah, it's awesome to see them there.
Make it even bigger. Excuse me one second. Wise ponies may say the folks that come here are customers, but I can't help but thinking of each and every one of you as friends.
That's why there's a 3-for-1 special on apple fritters in the cafe for the next hour. Enjoy!
These ponies are like an excitement herd. Like they go running around wherever they hear something new is happening.
Problem to find.
Lead the way, Mr. Gladmain.
Just glad me now, you hear?
Gladmain, you're just in time to see my newest move.
New moves or not, I'm glad to have a star like you working for me. I'll tell you what.
Oh, don't make me blush. Now watch this.
Stellar.
Oh, Mr. Gladman himself is here. Let's run through the whole routine.
Now, don't make a fuss for old me. I'm just going to keep on giving a tour to my new friends, Applejack and Fluttershy.
Howdy.
Hi.
If this pony calls you friend, you're welcome backstage anytime. I owe him my entire career.
Oh, shucks. Well, let's leave the artists to their work.
Doesn't look like there's any friendship problems here.
Yeah, where is it?
Never seen a pink prairie dog before.
I like the folks that come here to have a unique experience.
And we love him for it.
I like the new characters in this episode.
Little guy.
Now this
I kind of like the atmosphere kind of feel of Las Pegasus so far.
Glad you like it.
But still, where's the friendship lesson? They're right. Like, where is it? What's going on?
Oh, come in.
She has like 7 of them on her.
There doesn't seem to be anything wrong around here at all.
I figured looking for a friendship
Yeah, there you go,
problem in Las
Fluttershy and
Vegas
Applejack. I mean, this place
would be
isn't that bad.
on a stack of needles. But every pony seems to be getting along just fine.
Ladies and gentle ponies, despite what my competition might say, I know you've come to this fair city to be entertained, and I assure you there is nothing more entertaining than the astounding
Wait a
acrobatics
minute.
in Gladmane's pony.
Wait a minute.
Now, I suppose that might be one for the existence
It's
of
Blim and Flam?
really entertaining presentation.
Why are they here?
Stopping exotic animal act that Pony Fantastique includes.
Those voices sound familiar.
They sure do.
Yeah, and Applejack is.
Blam.
Why, I
Yeah, and I like that kind of like suspense look in her face.
consider buying your tickets.
Like kind of like the up and down part of the screen kind of fades into black a little bit.
I've always thought you get what you pay for, and in my humble opinion, these tickets are a value at twice the price. Don't let this price-gouging charlatan take you for a ride. Charlatan? How dare you? Ha! How dare I?
It's pretty nice to see these two again.
Well, they certainly don't seem to be getting along. You don't suppose we've been brought here to help them?
Oh no.
Not.
Oh wait, so is the lesson here gonna be sometimes you have to, well, sometimes the main 6 would have to solve friendship problems that they don't want to? Like, it goes to prove that sometimes there's things you don't want to do in life, but you have to do them sometimes, like school or work, unfortunately.
Of course that's
Let's just see if that's the case here. I think I'm actually beginning to puzzle it together pretty good.
I'm sorry you had to see that. I don't know why, but those two have been fighting ever since they got here. I thought giving them these jobs might help, but I guess it just made matters worse.
Trust me, I know those.
Oh, so Gladmane isn't the bad guy, okay. I mean, and he seems like a nice guy, so he wouldn't really be.
Suppose you're right. Flam's such a show pony, and Flam has such a head for business. Why, if they ever did work together, they'd be running this place in 2 shakes. Speaking of which, I better get back to work. Y'all enjoy your stay now, you hear?
I'm pretty sure we should help Flim and Flam.
And I'm pretty sure there's another friendship problem here, and I'm gonna search this resort top to bottom till I find it.
Avoiding it doesn't solve things, Applejack.
I hope you didn't travel all the way from Ponyville to try to get me to reconcile with my no-account brother. Brother? I don't believe I have one of those. No, I only know...
This reminds me of like one of the Super Mario shows episode where Mario and Luigi are like fighting and like Luigi runs away. This kind of reminds me of that.
Why, he's the greatest sales pony that ever lived, of course. Just ask him. He'll tell you all about it.
I'm sure you could work out your differences if you just sat down and talked to each other.
I'm never speaking to that pony again. You are ruining my soul!
It isn't just your show, and I'm improving it.
You don't pull a rabbit out of a hat on a trapeze.
That's the point. To give the audience something they've never seen before.
Yeah, exactly. Something fresh, something new.
Ta-da! It's called...
Wait, that rabbit can talk?
And it's awesome!
Shouldn't some pony do something?
They've been doing this since they started working here. Too bad, really, if they ever stopped shouting at each other. We could take the show on tour. They'd be way more successful than staying at Gladmane's.
Now that sounds like a real friendship.
Okay, I can see this story kind of taking an interesting turn.
Stop! What are you doing? It's supposed to be a pink prairie dog pyramid.
Wait, they're fighting too?
You said a tower. Why do you keep changing everything?
I'm not changing anything. You said pyramid.
You are driving me crazy.
I don't know why I found that funny.
We used to, but we just can't seem to agree on anything anymore. We used to perform all over Equestria, but if we can't agree on a new act, we might as well stay at Gladmane's forever.
Two friendship
I think there's like 8 of them there.
Theater? Now we're talking.
If you count Flim and Flam, that's 3 big friendship problems all in the same place.
Well, I don't count Flim and Flam since those two not being friends isn't a problem.
It certainly isn't for Gladmane. Sounds like he's better off with them fighting.
Actually, the other ponies' problems seem to be good for Gladmane, too. Both the Trapeze Show and the Animal Act would be better off if they left, but every pony's so busy arguing that they can't.
Do you think he knows?
I don't know, but I'm starting to think we should find out.
Of course Gladmane wants every pony to get along. He's the nicest, most genuine pony I've ever met. Did the director put you up to this?
I tell you, if Gladmane is your friend, you are welcome backstage. But if you are speaking of him poorly, you leave! Gladmane is the kindest, most gentle,
Most compassionate pony I've ever known.
my problem
Is
is with him.
I just can't figure it. The only pony who benefits from all this feuding is Gladmane. But by all accounts, he's the best friend any of these ponies have.
Well, Bernard, that adorable bunny from the Acrobat's hat, claims that
Oh,
every
Bernard?
morning,
Okay.
Gladmane tells the director that the star wants control of the show, and every afternoon tells the star that the director wants to get rid of her. But neither is true. And the Flying Prairinos, the pink prairie dog family, say Gladmane keeps changing their act to make each trainer think the other is doing it.
So all his talk about friendship is just a load of applesauce. He's getting them all to fight with each other on purpose.
But how can we get every pony to believe that's what he's doing?
There must be a way to trick them into telling the truth.
Oh wait.
Gee, if only
So Gladmane was really behind this all along?
Or maybe a pair of ponies?
Fine. Guess bringing Flim and Flam back together might be why we're here. Maybe.
Yeah, looks like Applejack's gonna have to face her dislikes.
Pony off the street, even if that street is in Ponyville.
But Gladmane is behind so many other friendship problems. How can you be sure he isn't the cause of yours?
Because the only problem I have is standing right there. Same here, Buster.
Do either of you even know what you're fighting over?
Gladmane let me know that ex-brother of mine thinks I'm just a mouthpiece without a single good idea. Gladmane assured me this former fraternal foal here thinks I couldn't sell heat lamps to yaks.
Sounds to me like neither of you said those things. Why'd you believe Gladmane when he said you did?
Why would he lie?
Because he's afraid that the two of you together could move in and take over his resort.
And if I'm telling you he said it, you know it's the absolute truth because...
You never lie! Oh, brother of mine, I think it's time for a little payback. The Canterlot two-step? We don't have the chickens. How about the Baltimore flare? My flare isn't what it used to be.
Listen here, y'all. If you're a friend of mine, you're entitled.
Oh, there's Gladmane again.
pony here is a friend of mine. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Are you thinking what I am? The High Roller Hustle.
The what now?
Trust us. When we're done, there won't be a pony in town who doesn't know the apple-jackiest truth about Gladmane. That is, assuming you two are willing to help. What size gown do you wear?
What's all the fuss now?
It's the grand matriarch of the Rich family. Impossibly rich. She's one of the wealthiest ponies in Equestria.
Well, why didn't some pony tell me? You know how I like to give VIP guests my personal touch.
Well, she's not exactly a guest. Word is she's planning a resort of her own. I think she's here to scout the competition.
Oh, really?
And with her bits, she could take over the whole strip, hire away any pony she wants. And not me, of course. I love it here. My good-for-nothing brother on the other hoof.
Impossibly rich. What an honor it is to have you at my humble.
Impossibly rich.
I'm sure Flam has done an excellent job showing you around.
That's even more funnier than filthy rich.
Nice tour from the main
And also
museum
spoiled
side.
rich.
You'll have to excuse Ms. Rich. She saves the energy other ponies spend talking out loud and uses it to make more money. She'd love a personal tour. Say in about an hour?
Well, that sounds right pleasant. And if you can break away for a moment, Flam, I'd love to see you in my office so I can get ready.
Uh-oh.
Are all of you sure this is a good idea?
I know it was Fluttershy under there.
Gladmane is one fish that's hooked but good.
I sure hope you two know what you're doing.
Oh, don't you worry. When it comes to throwing ponies off their game, no two ponies do it better than us.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Hey there, boss. Impossibly Rich is just about ready for that tour. So what do you want to see me about?
Actually, there's something I want you to see. The grand plan. Every hotel on this strip as amazing as this one, and every one of them mine. And all it'll take is a little sales pony ship like this. Hey there, friends. Oh,
If you think my resort is fantastic, wait till you see Pony Fantastic. Tickets are on sale now. 2 for the price of 1.
thank you. Thank you very much. And now I know Impossibly Rich has probably made you a tempting offer to come work for her.
Well, now that you mention it.
And as your friend, I'd never tell you what to do, but no pony's gonna stand in the way of my plans no matter how rich she is. And I sure wouldn't want you to end up on the losing side. Think you might consider staying here?
Yeah.
Well, all right then.
They're coming!
And last but not least, Miss Rich, the jewel in my crown.
Impossibly wants you to know she's very impressed, but doesn't think you can keep a resort of this caliber going for long.
Oh, and why is that?
Because you've got the best talent in the industry. What stops them from just leaving to join any competitor?
Well, you see, I have a trick for that, I must confess. And it all has to do with how I handle my employees.
And how is that?
No.
Well, like friends, of course. And I treat every one of my employees with the kindness they deserve.
Wait, huh?
That's it? That's your secret? There's nothing...
Wait, did he accidentally clock the microphone or something?
Friendship. But you know all about friendship, don't you? Fluttershy,
You knew the whole time?
never try to con a con pony.
Jesus, that laugh.
I'd have thought you'd hit the road by now.
Whether we were able to fool you or not, you can't just go on keeping ponies from getting along. It's just mean.
Now, maybe
It's just mean, like she can't come up with anything else.
your pathetic little plug. I practically invented the high roller hustle. but I suppose I should be impressed. You're the only ponies to ever figure out the secret to my success. Takes a lot of work keeping every pony fighting, but as long as I keep them convinced that I'm their only friend, all of Las Pegasus will be mine. Oh, you can't trick a confession out of a pony like me. I am always one step ahead.
Well, you better check your hooves, because you just stepped in a confession.
Oh, yeah.
Did that sound okay?
Never better!
Oh, no.
Told us you'd see right through the fake rich pony bit, and that once you did, you wouldn't be able to resist gloating about it. This was all part of the plan.
Oh, now, friends, listen, I can explain everything.
Oh, no.
You've done enough of that, darling. Oh, I cannot believe we let him almost ruin our friendship.
And our act. Good luck finding another one.
So Gladmane was playing everybody like puppets.
Come on, I'm gonna be ruined. This is Gladmane, yo. Come on, you can't do this.
Look at him run like a pathetic loser. Well, I'm sorry, but still, it looks silly.
The map wasn't on the fritz after all.
Well, their job is done.
Your history with Flim and Flam, you never would have been so determined to find some pony else to help, and we never would have found out what Gladmane was doing.
And if it weren't for you wanting to show even those two con ponies kindness, we never would have been able to trick the trickster. It must have felt pretty nice to finally put all your conniving
There's a statue in pieces.
to use.
In fact, we like to think of it as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Emphasis on the once.
What do you mean?
While this establishment undergoes a slight change in management, my brother and I want to assure you that it remains the pinnacle of Las Pegasus entertainment, which is why we invite each and every one of you to experience the wonder of the Pony Fantastic Theater at half the normal cost of admission.
And while you're appreciating this historic venue, totally devoid of performance of any kind, we invite you to use the wonder of your own imaginations to fill the space at no additional charge.
That was interesting. Hello, Hasbro. Shut up. And that was my reaction to episode 20 of MLP Season 6, Viva Las Pegasus. Okay, so it turns out Las Pegasus actually is based on Las Vegas. Okay, so... Alright, so much for my Los Angeles prediction. So, maybe Los Angeles in Equestria is called Los Alicorn or something. Maybe it's called like Los Alicorn or something. I don't know, but... Anyway, so, yeah. So, awesome. We're in Las Pegasus, Equestria's depiction of Las Vegas. And I gotta say, its design wasn't really that bad compared to the real-life Las Vegas Strip. Like, I like how there was, like, the casinos, and there's kind of, like, fairgrounds and hotels and you know, resorts. So yeah, that was actually a pretty close enough resemblance of Las Pegasus. Like, it would have been nicer if they had, like, the sign as well, like the welcome sign. Like, instead it said, like, Las Pegasus on it, but maybe that would be, like, copyright, but that would have added the feel to it, but, so yeah, in terms of the story, I gotta say, it was still much more interesting than Dungeons and Discords was, to be honest. I mean, first of all, Gladmane. Yeah, Gladmane is actually an interesting new character. Like, not really compared to Gabriella. Like, Gabriella was, like, cute and funny in a way that's not annoying. But, Gladmane, I kind of got some kind of weird feeling when I first saw him. Like, okay, is he gonna be, like, the bad guy? Is he gonna be, like, the cause of his friendship problem or something? But the way he was saying, oh, I'm your friend and all, and because you're all my best friends, I'm giving you all these offers over the announcement system. So I thought he was just a good guy. And I thought Flim and Flam were going to be the problem again. But when Applejack didn't really want to kind of face the fact that they had to, that they would either have to help them with the friendship problem or kind of they would need their help to solve the other friendship problem, Applejack didn't really want to do that because we all know how Applejack feels about Flim and Flam. Yeah. Yeah, I think I've been in a situation kind of similar to that a while ago. Like I just said, I kind of like that structure where Applejack at first really wanted to avoid helping Flim and Flam or letting Flim and Flam help them because she doesn't like them. Yeah. Kind of similar to, like, me when, whenever I'm in gym at school and, we play, I don't know, like football or soccer or whatever that involves teams. And I do my best to avoid any team that has people in it that I don't like from like past school years. I've been successful at that so far, but I don't know how long I can hold up for. But so yeah, there's a little bit of relatability right there, like Applejack wanting to kind of avoid the truth that that they may have had to help Flim and Flam, or Flim and Flam would have to help them because Applejack didn't like them and he didn't want to accept help from them, or she didn't want to accept the fact that they might be the ones with the friendship problem. So Applejack goes around looking for other friendship problems to solve because she wants to avoid Flim and Flam. And I was actually puzzling for a second, like to see all the other actresses and everybody else, all the cast and directors and everybody else fighting. I'm like, whoa, I mean, they seem like pretty nice people. I mean, yeah, sometimes during movies or something, there'll be some kind of heated arguments over, like, time or, you know, like, how something is done. I mean, we all argue from time to time. It's a natural thing. But, okay, I'm trying to get back on track here. I was even wondering, okay, why are even these guys fighting? I mean, I don't really think it's really fitting for a My Little Pony episode to have more than one friendship problem going on at a time. Like, it's usually just one setting, like, per place. So, yeah, I was actually a bit puzzled for a few minutes there, which is why I was kind of silent. Yeah, apologies that I didn't really say much during the reaction, but I was mostly in my head just trying to really figure out where the story was going, and I didn't really have much of a chance to really say anything. And anytime, like, if my reaction is, like, boring to you guys, you can always just skip to the review part, which you're always watching right now. Like, you don't have to waste your time watching a reaction that you don't really feel like watching. You can just skip to the talking and review part. So, yeah, it's just a little tip for you, but, so yeah, sorry I didn't say much, and, but yeah, I was kind of puzzling over the story for a few minutes, but that's not really in a negative way, because we got our answers in the end. It turned out that Gladmane, yeah, he turns out he wasn't really as a good and kind of happy guy and kind of pleasurable guy as what I mean. He wasn't really kind of the happy and kind of friendship kind of host we thought he was. Like Applejack said. So everything that Gladmane has been saying about friendship is just a bowl of applesauce, I believe she said. But so yeah, it was all a lie. And it turns out, like, what I could piece together is Gladmane had a group of kind of directors and actors for his resort that were keeping, tourists and, like, other ponies, like, coming, like, keeping the place popular. So I think what Gladmane was doing this whole time was he was keeping all of the actors and directors arguing all the time so that they wouldn't go anywhere. So that they would never go on tour. Like one of the guys said, like, if we keep on fighting like this and we can't really find a new act, we might as well just perform at this resort forever. So yeah, with them arguing, they couldn't really go on tour because they couldn't do any new acts. They couldn't, like, create and they couldn't be creative and kind of come up with new tricks and new acts and new stunts to really go anywhere. Like, if they were going to just do the same thing over and over, they might as well just stay performing at that resort. But that would be a pretty boring life for just actors. They would want to go on tour. They would want to visit other places. They would want to try new things. They would want to be creative. They would want to use their imagination. I don't know why I'm blubbering all over the place, but Um, and so yeah, I think that was what Gladman was doing this whole time. He wanted to play them like puppets, and he wanted to keep them arguing so that they couldn't really do any new acts, and they couldn't really go anywhere. They had to stay performing at that resort, and that was what was raking in the popularity and the cash for Gladman. And yeah, I guess that's why he got pretty aggressive when Fluttershy was, well, I mean, it turned out he was pretending the whole time because he knew it was Fluttershy all along. But yeah, when I thought he was falling for it, he seemed kind of aggressive when Fluttershy as impossibly rich was well, actually Flim, I believe, was kind of talking for her, and he was like, after all this, she might be planning on like taking over this resort, and Gladmane didn't really look like he was taking that too well, because it did seem like he really wanted to overgloat, and he wanted to take so much pride in being like one of the popular resorts in Las Pegasus, and he took so much pride in. Gladmane actually kind of reminded me of Sven Gallop, actually, from the main attraction, Countess Coloratura's manager. Yeah, the way it turned out, he was just playing everybody like puppets, like he was kind of using everybody to keep his resorts alive. I mean, it is kind of different. I mean, what Sven Gallop was doing is, it turns out he was just using Rah-Rah the entire time, and he was taking all the credit and all the pride for everything he did, for all the work he did with her. And it never really seemed, and Sven Gallop hardly ever gave Countess any credit. He never said, "Oh, good job performing out there." He's just like, "Oh, and thanks to all the laser visuals that I designed, yeah, it's all good." So really, Sven Gallop was taking the credit for everything and just using Rah-Rah. But this situation with Cloudmane is a bit different. They're both kind of similar, but what Cloudmane was doing is, like, how he was using people is, he was kind of playing everybody like puppets. He wanted to keep everybody fighting so that they couldn't change the act, or they couldn't really go on tour, so they would remain stuck there, so that they would be keeping his resort popular. So that's why he was kind of being fake, and he was kind of lying by saying, "Oh, I'm your best friend, and because you're all my best friends, you can go backstage, or you can get some discounts, or, oh, come get the snack at the buffet." So yeah, Cloudmane, he kind of fooled me for a second as well. I thought Cloudmane was just a nice guy, and he never turned out to really be the bad guy in the story, but turns out his method of manipulation was play everybody like puppets, keep everybody fighting, keep everybody at war, and there you go, everybody's stuck there, no changes are being made, nothing ever changes, nobody's going anywhere, they're all stuck there, like, still making his resort popular. So, yeah, I think I kind of got it right. And, like I just said earlier, I found, like, I kind of took a bit of liking to, the structure of the story where Applejack kind of wants to avoid the fact that they may have to accept help from Flim and Flam, or Applejack didn't want to help them because Applejack doesn't like them. So, yeah, that was a kind of a good kind of side mini lesson, kind of a relatability lesson there. Like, sometimes in life, sometimes we have to do things or accept things that we don't want to, but we have no choice. Like, we have to do it, like going to school or going to work or, going to college. Yeah, that kind of stuff. We're not going to get into that, but you see the relatability here. But, yeah, and I found it kind of awesome that, I actually found it awesome that Flim and Flam were in an episode like this. Like, first we get to go to Las Pegasus, finally, a new city, and a city that we saw on the map, and we've been waiting so long to actually been in an episode, and now it's in an episode. And not that much of a bad one, either. Like, its story isn't the best. Like, The Fault in Our Cutie Marks actually still kind of sits above this episode. What I'm saying is, this episode doesn't really dominate Faults in Our Cutie Marks, in my opinion. And I'm not really sure if it really dominates Buckball Season either. Well, it just might. Like, Buckball Season and this episode just may be tied, but it's good to know that this episode didn't really turn out to be boring or repetitive or, And I don't think I was bored or sleepy during the reaction, like I just said. I mean, I'm sorry I didn't really say or do much during the reaction, but sometimes when we're reacting to things, we're busy observing it and we're kind of frozen. Like, there's a zipper over our mouth saying, I'm observing right now, I can't say anything or laugh or make a face or anything. So you gotta understand that, and like I just said, if you don't want to watch a repetitive seeming reaction like that, you can just cut to the talking and reviewing the talking and reviewing scene, which I'm doing right now. So, is there really anything else to go over in this episode? This episode really wasn't bad. Like, I actually liked it. I don't really think so. I mean, there wasn't any songs in this episode. I mean, it would have been interesting if there was a song in this episode, but maybe not. I mean, with a storyline like this, I don't really think a song would have been necessary. But I still like the atmosphere feel to Las Pegasus. It did feel kind of like a good turnout to me. Like, for a second I was wondering why everything was blue, like it was floating in the sky, but it's called Las Pegasus. Okay, so it's like a Pegasi city, so it's kind of floating above like the Nevada-based desert. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And, so yeah, Las Pegasus, and yeah, like I said, maybe Los Angeles should be called Los Alicorn or something. I don't know, I mean, Alicorn begins with A, and Angeles also begins with A as well, so you could still call it LA and Equestria, Los Angeles and Los Alicorn. Okay, that joke is getting old, I'll stop. But, yeah, I like this episode. I like the storyline. Like, it did seem a little puzzling, but not in a boring and repetitive and kind of not good kind of way. Because it actually it felt like it challenged my mind. Like, I had to stay silent. I couldn't talk much during the reaction for a good portion of it because I was busy thinking. Like, every now and then I will like an episode that kind of challenges my mind a little bit in trying to figure out what the story really is and how it's really going. And for a story structure like a Las Pegasus episode like this was not bad. This was actually very good. I like how it didn't really turn out boring like Dungeons and Discords was. And before I was hoping that the main 6 would go there, but maybe that would have taken up too much episode time, and I understand that because Rarity would be going into every shop and getting like every dress or like adoring the scenery and everything. Pinkie Pie would have been fun here because the whole place is a party. She likes a party. And Twilight, I don't know what really good cost she would have had, but... And Rainbow Dash, she would have been like, oh, this place looks awesome. So, yeah, it would have been, in my opinion, kind of also good if all of the main 6 went there, like just for a vacation or something. But, I don't know, this episode was written the way it was. And Applejack and Fluttershy, they weren't really that bad. Like in terms of choice of characters, yeah, this was okay. And because at least it made the story work, because what could any of the other characters done? Like, Pinkie would have just partied throughout the whole thing. Rarity would have just been admiring the scenery. I don't know what cost Rainbow Dash would have really had. And, wait, now that I think of it, Las Pegasus is a floating city, so did Fluttershy have to, like, lift Applejack up there, or did they travel in a balloon or something? Maybe the Las Pegasus transit system has, like, balloons to, like, raise Earth ponies from the ground and onto the cloud the city sits on. Maybe that's how the system works. I don't know. We didn't see it. But, yeah, just, what else to say? This was a good episode. Out of 10, I think I give this, falls in between 6 and 7 out of 10. Like I said, it doesn't really dominate... it doesn't really dominate the Faults in Our Cutie Marks. That was an amazing episode, and I really like that that episode got the support it deserved. And in terms of dominating Buckball season, I say the two are about tied. I mean, I'm not really sure if this episode is either better or not really as good as Buckball season was, but I like how at least this was an enjoyable and good episode, and I can't wait to see other people's point of view on it, like other people's reaction and Dr. Wolf's review on it, and etc. So, so yeah, I think that's really all I have to go over, and As always, I'd like to see your thoughts about this episode in the comment section below. So, yes, so that was my reaction and review on episode 20 of MLP Season 6, Viva Las Pegasus. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you like the content on my channel, as always, don't forget to subscribe. Only if you actually enjoy the content on... Oh. Only if you actually enjoy the content on my channel, not just because I asked you to. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video that I do. Bro-hoof to everybody watching, and I will see you next time.